Hello there, welcome to Alchemize Yourself Tarot. We're doing a pick a card reading here that explores the current energies that are playing out with each element. Now for this pick a card, you don't just have to pick your sign. You can pick whatever element you're feeling like you want to explore or want to gain some insight on. Whichever element you're feeling drawn to that is resonating with your situation. For fire, we explore the energy, will, your creative energy. This is determining where your life force is burning or wasted. For water, this is about emotion, bonding, memory, intuition. So this will show you where you are merging with or dissolving something. Air is your thought, your perception, your logic, your ideas. Air elements are going to reveal narratives shaping your reality right now. And earth is about structure, manifestation, stability, showing what actually holds weight in your life. So take a moment to clear your head and decide which element, one or more, that you're wanting to explore or get some insight on, where your energy is being directed. So first off, we're going to get started with fire here, and I'm just going to try to stack these over to the side. If they'll stay. Okay, for fire, for those of you who chose to explore the element of fire, we have, fire, have purpose. Your journey is worthwhile. Okay, so you make your journey more worthwhile when you have a purpose, when you're directing your energy to your life goals, what you're wanting to create. And I may just read the card at the end. We're gonna explore. We're just gonna get in here, get right in, and explore the source of your ignition. This is the combustion test. The combustion test. Okay, for your purpose, making your journey worthwhile, and where your energy may be leaking at times. So the source of your ignition, what's igniting you at this time? Fire elements, what's igniting you at this time? And what's fueling it? What's igniting you? Okay. Ten of Swords. Wow. Very painful ending. This is interesting because I'm getting that something being over and done. There's just no going back. This is actually igniting you towards a new purpose, a new path. Sometimes painful endings can be catalyst for major change. So there's no going back. Something's going to have to change and transform no matter what here. So this is going to be igniting you or inspiring you in some way. And what's fueling it is you're actually going to be able to release any burdens or stress associated with this situation. You're going to be able to release it and let it go. So you're going to be able to redirect your energy. You're no longer going to be putting energy into this painful ending. You're actually going to free up your energy So I like seeing the tens come out like this, because what this means is you're no longer going to be completely absorbed in something that was bringing you a lot of stress, pain, something that was actually pulling on your energy in a negative way. But the inner conflict here is the Tower. Wow, you've got a lot of fire and Mars energy going on here. So this is right up fire sign alley, is this Mars energy. So the inner conflict is it's going to create a tower. Having this ending, having this fallout, closing out this cycle, you're going to have to rebuild something from the ground up here. And you could either choose to let it stress you out or inspire you in some way. You're realizing that this just didn't work at all, right? It's when the ego crumbles, or everything that you built. It's like you're like, okay, it's done, it's over. It's time to completely start from scratch. And if you are really focused on a new purpose, this could actually be really exciting energy. I know it looks kind of cataclysmic right now, but this is exciting. You're going to have a chance to start over. And the truth that's trying to surface is, whoa, you're going through some major transformation. Something ending is a big part of your transformation. And you're going to mentally recalibrate, because you're going to realize how codependent you may have been on this faulty foundation. You're going to realize, hey, this didn't work. You're recognizing what works and what doesn't work for you, fire signs. And you're going to have to figure out how you want your life to look. Some of you are going to be newly single, and it's going to feel like a complete fallout. Or you're going to change careers, due to circumstances, and it's going to like really force you to level up in some way. But this is going to be a big part of your journey in the long run. So it may be feeling you could be feeling really raw and vulnerable and on shaking ground right now. And, devil, but there was a toxic pattern. Yeah, somebody that you thought you could love or have unconditional love with, they didn't bring you that. It was a toxic trauma bond, karmic situation. Could have even been a job that was weighing you down. You weren't having any growth. You felt like you weren't able to truly self-actualize in this position. Toxic work environment. I mean, the devil can be so many things that are keeping you in fear and bondage. So let's go a little deeper. What do we do with this Ten of Swords energy? Because you have this really painful ending that's the source of getting you realigned with your purpose. So that's a pretty big deal. But it's gonna force you to do that work on yourself. Could be that you weren't focused on yourself and your own personal growth enough, and there's gonna be a big glow up or transformation that takes place. Oh, we did have one that wanted to fall out. Ring, a commitment. So it could have been an ending and a commitment, a promise, a marriage, but a leap of faith out of that commitment. So what's igniting you is moving on. So what? A change in direction. You're completely shifting your perspective on commitment. Some of you are getting out of a commitment, or you're letting go of the idea of being in a commitment with somebody. Right? You're shifting your priorities. Commitments can also be, like things that you're tied to, even your job, anything that's a contract for you, something that you've put a lot of your energy and effort, could even be a business partnership. Whatever it is you're going to have to take this leap of faith. You're going to have to trust in the universe that this ending is the right thing. So it's about trusting yourself, changing directions, recalibrating what you're working on, like refiguring what you're doing with your life. But it's fueling it because it's going to free up some of your energy here, something that's been stressful for a while. Some of you felt really weighed down and burdened by a commitment, and it's kind of light. The grasshopper, there's a lightness to it. It's not as heavy. What's fueling it is you're going to have more, another person. Okay, love triangle, stranger. You're going to not have that energy weighing on you anymore. If this was a big betrayal, an outside party that was creating a lot of energetic problems for you, that's being relieved. And it's like someone could have been pulling energy from you and putting it into another connection. Or you know how sometimes when you have extra people or triangulation going on, somebody else has been influencing a situation. You may be finding that out, and this is actually like your get out of jail free card, right? You don't have to be bound and stuck to this situation anymore. You can release yourself. So some of you definitely found out that somebody else was influencing a situation, and it's kind of a relief now that you know. You can start to just let it go, and you can heal, and you can redirect your focus and your energy. Like I said, this could even be work. You know, sometimes work environments will triangulate people, or there'll be influences behind the scenes affecting your ability to grow and create. So you're releasing that. The inner conflict is that this could be really sudden and unexpected. You know, the inner conflict is that everything's gonna kind of blow up in your face a little bit, or somebody else's. Yeah. The Hermit. Yeah, it's gonna force you to do some soul searching, Virgo. It's gonna force you to be more adaptable too. Mutable signs are all about being very adaptable, flexible, fluid. The mutable signs represents that transitional phase, that you're becoming more analytical, hardworking, intelligent, helpful. You're going to have to go within. You're going to have to do something on your own. These nines, Hermit card, this is like the Virgo, says Hermit, with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This is going to force you to do soul searching, especially in areas of what your energy is being directed towards, because you don't want energy leaks when you're trying to follow your life purpose. So I'm getting that people are leaving your life, or maybe a particular person or relationship, and it's actually going to clear some of that sticky, icky, stagnant energy out. You're going to realize, ooh, that wasn't good. That was actually depleting and parasitic to your energy, right? Especially with the Devil being here. That tells me that this was not a good situation for your growth. So the truth is that you're going to have to completely transform your life, that this was actually a blessing in disguise, Ladybug. This may even lead you to more abundance and balance. You're going to have an opportunity to fulfill your wishes. So it may feel weird not being dependent on a situation or getting out of a commitment. But then there's like this luck and abundance. It's this opportunity to let go of baggage and burdens, feeling cursed, feeling all this shame and regret. And, you know, this ending was was a blessing in disguise. You know, sometimes when we're in the middle of upheaval, it doesn't feel like a blessing at all. It feels like a curse. But what you're going to realize is that this was not a curse. It was actually going to lead you to more abundance as you start to rebuild your life and get all this toxic energy out of your life. So the mental recalibrations, you're going to have to figure out things on your own. It's going to force you to get creative and strategic and, you know, redirect the focus on yourself, right? Because sometimes when we're focused on other people or another person or even a work environment that's pulling to, you're not really focused on yourself and your own growth. So we got church. Yeah, some of you are having to reassess your beliefs, religion, dogma, marriage, tradition. You're reprogramming ideas, traditional ideas about commitment and its strength, right? Leo, fixed, magnanimous, hospitable, languid, creative, caring. You're turning into the Queen of Wands. Whether you're masculine or feminine, you're getting into this real creative, warm, vibrant energy, strong. You're going to come out a lot stronger, and you're going to really start to understand your goals, your dreams, your vision. You're not going to be so entangled in this. Have purpose. Okay, where are they? What is their purpose? We're talking about barren land, so things may feel very barren after that tower. Are they unloved and nurtured parts of the earth, forgotten and left to be devoid of life? These barren lands have purpose. They show you what is left after everything is spent. When you feel you have nothing to give to the world, when life seems to have beaten you and you no longer have the will to carry on, barren lands symbolize a stopping point, a place to pause and to sense your life, to feel where you are right now. Have you taken a wrong turn? Are you following another's path instead of your own? How did you get here and what do you do now? Are you stuck here forever? So many of you have been asking yourself this. You've been going through this for a long time. And it just feels like you lost your way. You don't even know where to go anymore, right? And the universe, divine intervention, sent this tower to force or trigger a change. And while it feels really unlucky, it's also a blessing in disguise. I feel like you're going to completely be reassessing your commitments, what you value, who you invest time or energy in to. We have overcoming challenges. A triumph will bring great changes. Let yourself be open to victory. Yeah, this is going to bring you a victory. If you're going through this, your fire energy is going to return and you're going to overcome this. So whether you feel like that right now, look, and it's that triangle, that fire, getting your power back, getting your passions back, your desire, your strength, That's what fire element does. It charges you, it fuels you. You've got to find your passion in life. And shooting star, what you've asked for is coming true. Your wish is about to manifest. So some of you, all of this had to be removed so that you could have wish fulfillment, right? Sometimes creation is a destructive force. It's removing things. Clearing the decks, clearing things out of your life that aren't serving a purpose for you anymore. And then we have the little things. Find the little things in your everyday life that make you happy. And one day you'll realize they are the big things. Yeah, it's the little things. It's the little things. I never did mind about the little things. You know, it's like you're going to find great joy and happiness as you start to rebuild your life. And you're coming into a wish fulfillment as you do this. So it's like finding beauty in the little things. So we'll wrap this up here for the fire element, and keep going, keep transforming, keep rebuilding. Use this painful ending as a jumping off point to like really manifesting the life that you truly want. So it's actually an exciting opportunity. So now we're going to move over to water, the water element. The water element, for those of you who chose water, we have show strength. Each day, ground your energy. Ooh, I like that. It's good to have emotions and feelings about your world, but it's so important to ground it before you react based on emotions. So you're showing a lot of strength by grounding your energy every day. Some of you are becoming really wise and more aware of what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. This is actually going to help you to have a stronger intuition as well. When you ground your energy, your intuition's not all over the place, right? That's more your emotional reaction to things. So it's really hard to gauge and be discerning until you're able to ground your energy. So for water, what is the emotional solubility here? We're thinking about how to work with the emotions. What is your emotional baseline for the water element? What is your emotional baseline? And what are you absorbing? What is overwhelming you? And how to set boundaries and emotional equilibrium up. The Wheel of Fortune just wanted to come out. So there could be something shifting and changing in your environment that could be significant. So what is your emotional baseline? Ace of Cups. Wow, you're stepping into a new emotional experience of unconditional love, of self-love, a reawakening to love. So there could be some, a heavy flow of new emotions coming in for you. And you're absorbing this restless Knight of Wands in the reverse energy. What you've been absorbing, because Knight of Wands in the reverse can come off as a lack of energy, and desire and excitement, inaction, restlessness, impulsivity, the shadow side of the Nine of Wands. We'll clarify that a little further, but you could be absorbing somebody else's really erratic energy. Somebody could be really unpredictable here, but it's stirring up emotions. Could even be stirring up some confusion. You know, the Knights are action takers, but when they withdraw or they get in and out, they can be very confusing emotionally. What's overwhelming? Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody's not investing or giving. Somebody's not generous. It's overwhelming to know that somebody isn't really invested. They could be pulling away. Maybe you fell in love with somebody really quickly, and now you're seeing that there's a shift. Someone changed up on you. So a boundary, Queen of Swords in the reverse. Well, you definitely need to ground and check your emotions before reacting. I mean, because it could be making you angry, this shift. I'm also getting an energy, somebody being angry that you're moving on. Somebody's not happy that somebody's no longer interested. Somebody switched it up out of nowhere. And you may even be feeling that switch up, whether you're experiencing it or like your person is experiencing that. But it's very important to not feel this need to be understood or prove yourself or over explain something. Someone may not have wanted to explain to you the logic and reason they had for switching up. So you may just withdraw, not even express yourself until you're grounded and steady. But definitely something's shifting. Somebody's going a new direction and somebody else is not happy about that, whether you're experiencing that or not. We'll go a little deeper here. But the boundary is staying out of it, not being confrontational about it. Sometimes you just have to allow things to play out and accept things for however they're playing out. Lower your expectations of something. That way you're not so overruled emotionally by what somebody else is doing, their behavior. So you definitely want to ground, not get carried away with overthinking something. The equilibrium is, shifting the perspective, holding back. Not, you may see somebody or a situation from a new point of view. So not being emotionally reactive gives you the chance to shift your perspective on it. Maybe somebody was not ready for commitment or giving or investing in something, and you're not understanding that, but you're allowing the emotions to confuse you. So there's this need to get quiet, to take a step back. Page of Swords, yes, someone could have just stopped communicating. They were avoiding being upfront. Yeah, this is immaturity. Someone was just they may have acted like there was a plan, right? Two of Wands. But then Page of Wands and the Page of Swords in the reverse, somebody was avoiding something. They only wanted one thing. They weren't necessarily ready for anything. And now you're absorbing that energy. So what do you do with it? You have to ground yourself again. And it sucks because every time you deal with situations or flaky people, it's like you're always having to recalibrate. So some of you could be angry or restless or emotionally heavy right now. You may have even caught somebody. I mean, somebody just they ghosted, or they just they just flaked out. You know, and sometimes people do that when they're not ready for something. But what's your emotional baseline? You're unconditionally loving. You have self-love, regardless of what other people do. That's where you really show strength. You can't rely on everybody in the world to be at your emotional baseline. Your emotional baseline is that you have self-love. You're not going to indulge in calling this person out, even though you may want to. Your emotional baseline is better than that, right? You're grounded. Yeah, grounded, the tree. You're rooted. You're healthy. You're focused on personal growth. You're evolving. Connection to source. So you're connected to source. What this person or situation is about, it doesn't affect your overall baseline of self-love and being grounded. I like that. I like that. Because if you seek love and validation only outside of yourself, external to yourself, you're going to really become emotionally destabilized, and you're going to get, antsy about it. So I like seeing that the emotional baseline is grounded and self-loving. And yeah, what you're absorbing is steady forward movement, go the distance. Someone just could not go the distance. They weren't ready to really focus in one direction. I'm seeing that Knight of Wands in reverse is not somebody that's really focused on what they want or where they're going or where they want a relationship to go. Or even if it's a work situation, somebody just flaked, right? They weren't able to go the distance. They didn't have the passion or desire. You may even felt like this, where what you absorbed is not knowing what direction something was going. You may have been grounded in your focus where you want your life to go, but it doesn't mean that somebody else is going to have that focus. And it's overwhelming you because I think you realize that this person just really was not invested or just didn't care or switched it up. Yeah, clouds, confusion. It's overwhelming. You're confused. Like, what happened? There was a misunderstanding. And that's the worst, right? Lack of communication, misunderstandings about what somebody wants, especially from a relationship. That can be so frustrating. Somebody that confuses you. They give one day and then they're out the door the next. And like I said, you can't overthink. Some of you may have tried to overthink or overanalyze somebody's behavior, and what it really was is they were not on the same path as you, and they have to go because you don't want people on your path that aren't invested in where you're going. It doesn't make any sense, right? Something just doesn't make any sense. And that's what you're going to be seeing here with the Hanged Man, is it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And it doesn't really fit into where you're going anyway. That's going to help you detach and move on because you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you gave a lot. Maybe you were very generous with this person. All of a sudden they were gone. And it's like, wait a second. The boundary you need is to not don't lose your composure and your standards because of this person. And that's hard to do. The boundary is that, twin flames, divine partner, mirror, activation, a catalyst. Some of you, the boundary will be not over romanticizing connections that aren't beneficial or stable for you. It's all well and good to think that, twin flames, soulmates, all these divine partnership, an idea of it, you're shifting your idea about what that means, right? How can somebody be your mirror soul if they're just mirroring back lack? Because that's what that is. This is somebody that's going to make you feel lacking or unworthy. Could they really be? So this could be shifting your perspective, like your spiritual beliefs about connections. And it can also be a catalyst, right, for your own journey. You're being redirected here because you might have been really singularly focused in one direction on a person that really was erratic, that was really, at the end of the day, pulling you off your path. So you equalize by taking a step back. I'm not seeing that you need to wait it out with this person. It's more about needing to shift your perspective. How long were you going to wait? How long were you going to wait on somebody like that? Because this could be a person that loops you around forever if you're not careful. So the emotional equilibrium is, a shift in commitment. What is a commitment? A commitment definitely is not somebody that's in and out all over the place, not invested, not grateful. Someone could have actually been very ungrateful for the time and effort that you gave them. Alliance, commitment, circular, continuing on, closure. So many of you are closing out a cycle and you're redefining what it means to be in a commitment. What does that mean for you? It doesn't matter. You can call somebody a twin flame all day long, but if they're not benefiting your life or helping you to grow or evolve on your spiritual path, that's karmic. So the belief, some of you may even be chiding yourself, like, why did I even believe that? And that's normal because it doesn't make any logical, rational sense to be invested in something like that. And you're waking up, which is a good thing. You're waking up to that. Let's see. Actually, we'll read the Show the Strength card. Show strength. You need to have strength and not allow a belief or a narrative, a false narrative, keep you stuck. Let's see. Show strength. You are solid and strong when you ground your energy field deep into the earth. You are strong when you connect to above and allow the passage of clear energy to flow between your worlds of spirit and earth. Strength comes from within. To be strong and balanced, you need to connect each day to allow this flow to pass continuously through you. When you do not connect to ground yourself, you can be easily dislodged from your path. Like something really was keeping you scattered or all over the place. This could have just been an internal thing going on too. Not investing your energy in the right things, your emotional energy. Knocked off course by what happens around you, affecting how you relate to your world and the flood of emotions that can barrage you from within and from the people around you, the media and the structures that have set up controlling systems to do their will and not your own. So you've been, being controlled by a narrative that isn't adding up for you. And you're showing strength by, wait a second, you're allowing source love to flow through you, and this just isn't aligning anymore with your path. So it's beautiful when you awaken to that and you can see something for what it really is. We have overcoming challenges. Fire signs got this too. A triumph will bring great changes. Let yourself be open to victory. You're going to overcome this. You may feel really emotionally disoriented right now, but don't worry about that. You're having a major shift in your perspective, so you may feel stuck for a while, but you are going to overcome this because you're going to show strength. You're going to ground your energy. You're not going to allow somebody to disorient you anymore, or even a situation disorient you. We have bare tree. Don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. Yeah, you're wanting to bear fruit. This tree is bare. You're not getting anything out of that situation. It's wasting your time. Don't put all, especially your emotions, people can really trick and manipulate you to react emotionally to things. So don't be wasting your energy or efforts on things that aren't bearing fruit. That's a perfect message for this reading, because you're trying to lay down roots and be in a commitment, not in some sort of twin flame mind programming that's keeping you stuck. That's when it's, any sort of programming. Just be aware of whether or not it's bearing fruit. If that idea or narrative isn't bearing fruit for you, you gotta drop it. We have important mission. Your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within and you'll discover your mission. Some of you are you feel really connected on a spiritual level to the whole twin flame concept, but you're moving towards more of a mission, like a unity consciousness. So keep that in mind too. It may not be about an earthly material kind of commitment. You're shifting your beliefs on that. And also invest wisely. Invest your attention into things that support, nurture, and challenge you in healthy ways to help your soul bloom. Yeah, you need to nurture things that are bearing fruit. Invest wisely. Don't keep giving to situations that aren't bringing you any kind of stability. Despite what you may think spiritually is going on. That could be the real awakening, is investing in your mission, your goals. So that's going to wrap it up here for the water element. I hope that resonated with you guys, and I'm going to be moving on to air. Okay, air. This is if you chose the air elemental. And we have sit with your soul. The journey is within. So some of you need to sit with your soul. I'm getting that you may need to meditate, get clear in your thinking. Because the soul is not always purely rational. There's the soul desires a lot of things, right? So it can be very important to sit with your soul. Your soul is wanting to communicate with you, your higher self. So what is the cognitive atmosphere here? What is the communication current? What is the mental activity going on for the element of air? Some of you are wanting to win. You're in it to win it. Emperor. You're wanting to stabilize. But what is shaping your reality right now? Because your mind does eventually shape your reality. So what is the atmospheric scan here for air signs. What's your dominant thought pattern and the external influence of this, right? Because your soul, you need to look beyond what other people or media or whatever has to say. You're needing to go within right now. And what is the inner conflict or the truth that's trying to surface? And how do you mentally recalibrate for the air element? The dominant thought pattern. Ooh, well, you are over avoiding something. You're no longer wanting to be avoidant. You're wanting to be truthful and honest with yourself. So you're exposing a truth, no longer wanting to avoid it, no longer wanting to play games. Because some of swords can be like games, avoidance, getting something over on somebody or being tricked into something. It's a trickster spirit. So you're releasing that. You're getting out of that need to play games, possibly in a connection or even tricking yourself. So it's time to be very brutally honest with yourself about what you want or what you've been avoiding. The external influences could be definitely friends, social groups, socializing, social media. So you definitely have that external, what other people are saying, what they are doing. I'm getting kind of like the current dating climate is all about playing games, dating, dating multiple people, not really wanting to sit in your truth about what you really want. So you no longer want to play mind games. You want to show up more authentically when you're dealing with people, friends. So friends could be significant in affecting somebody's behavior, whether it's towards you or, with somebody else. And the conflict here is the Queen of Pentacles, being grounded, stable, committed, nurturing something. Very different energy. The Queen of Pentacles is all about long-term stability. Sitting with your long-term goals. Very creative, very fertile, not flaky, because this can be more fluid and flaky. Queen of Pentacles desires depth, and you could be really focused on your self-worth. You may be having doubts and questions about your self-worth based on what other people are saying. So that internal conflict it's making you doubt your worth, how other people are showing up or what they're saying or how they're behaving towards you. The truth trying to surface is something isn't truthful. It's distortion. It's not the truth. These people are ill-informed. They're not coming at it from real facts and figures. It's all misinformation. Don't question your value or worth based on misinformation of other people, because people will manipulate and lie to get you to think a certain way about yourself. That's part of the game too, because they benefit from you doubting who you are or whether or not you're worthy. So they don't even have accurate information, but they will manipulate and trick you into thinking or being confused about who you are. So the inner truth is that these people don't even know what they're talking about. The mental recalibration is you're a star. You're on a soul purpose. You're sitting with your soul. So the truth is I'm getting someone may want you to doubt how beautiful you are, how attractive you are. You're getting a lot of mixed signals from your social and environment that you're being challenged with as far as the narrative, how you feel about yourself. King of Wands, someone's definitely, maybe they're making you doubt that whether or not they want you, whether or not they're attracted, or that's what you've been dealing with before, but then you have somebody here that really does, or they will see who you truly are, right? Because you were dealing with a lot of false starts. Yeah, tricksters, game players, people that don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. So they're not going to really follow through with anything. The Ace of Wands in reverse can burn out really fast. It's like a flicker on a match or a lighter. And then it's not, but this is people that don't really know what they want. So don't allow external narratives throw you off your path. What is the dominant thought pattern, though? You're definitely confused by people's attitudes or behaviors towards you. You see it. It's like you know the game. And you know that it's false. You know that it's not real. It's just another form of mind programming or psyop to get people off path or confused. So what are you on to? The Sun. You have full clarity, ego, purposeful pride, willfulness, success, reason over instinct, self-realization, vitality, direction, creative, and identity. Yeah, you know your identity. But you also see how people are ego-driven or how they don't know themselves. That's why it's so important to know yourself, because then you don't allow people in the external world to define that for you. Your soul knows. So you're getting clarity on this game or this trick, and you're realizing that it's these people in the environment or the media or whatever is influencing you. Book, hidden mysteries, secrets, the unknown, philosophy, knowledge, education. So you need to deepen your knowledge, not get advice from your social group or social media. Not that it's all bad, but you need to discover your own knowledge, your own truth, and have your own inner guidance. That's where that soul energy is coming from. That's how you're going to navigate. You're not going to navigate based on social expectation or social trends. Sometimes trends and thought come and go, but you are aware of your path. You're guided by higher wisdom and knowledge. You know your truth. You're not going to let these people or this information keep you ungrounded. And the inner conflict is that you know the truth about what stability and worth means, substance. Queen of Pentacles is somebody with substance. Yeah, we have the inner conflict is, someone could have gone towards someone else. Someone could have not chosen you. That's common. There was definitely other people. Maybe somebody was seeing other people, and that has nothing to do with you. So what? You're going to move in a new direction. You're not going to play by those games. You're not going to define yourself by those trends and those narratives anymore. The inner conflict is, why weren't you chosen over someone else? Or why did someone choose to go towards someone else? I mean, you can sit with that all day long, but at the end of the day, you have to sit with yourself and who you know you are. Because not everybody knows or recognizes worth or substance. Not everybody wants that. So the truth is that this isn't truth. This is just, you know, the truth wanting to surface is leadership, self-esteem, pride, and ego. You may have even misinterpreted somebody. Like they may have come off as very take the lead and then they just flaked. But you're going to take ownership and leadership over your own life. You're going to be the leader. You're not going to just follow what everybody else is saying or doing. And you're going to recalibrate onto your soul path. Saturn, some of you are completing out a cycle, structure, achievement, commitment, being committed to your path, your soul path. And you're about to close out a cycle of dealing with this. I feel like you're over this narrative, the games. It's silly. It's ridiculous. It doesn't really have a lot of long-term benefit for where you're wanting to go. Saturn, these could have been really harsh lessons for you to learn about the world and about people, but you're definitely being spiritually guided somewhere else. Conviction, emotional loss, duty. Some of you had to sacrifice being in the narrative of what's trending or what's common in relational dynamics. You're having to break those patterns because they aren't serving your higher purpose. So let's get a couple more cards. Actually, I'm going to read the oracle card. I've been doing that with each of the signs. Sit with your soul. You are vast and deep in your beautiful complexity. Your soul is vast, unlimited in its yearning for connection. You can fly above, peer into its depths, or take a walk to connect the truth, who you are. Okay? So you have depth, you have complexity. You're not superficial. And sometimes it feels weird when you're around people like that. It doesn't feel right or sit right. So we'll get a couple more oracle cards here, and then let's see what else. What else does the air element want to talk about or express? Angels are watching. There's nothing to worry about. Angels are watching over you. You are protected. If people have flaked out or been removed from your life, you're being protected. Because you have a purpose, right? You're meant to be a leader. You're meant to stand out. You're not meant to do what everybody else is doing. Orbiting space, something or someone is orbiting you, wanting to make its presence known. I have a feeling somebody is watching you, somebody that is a leader, that knows what they want. So somebody's orbiting you, somebody's watching you. Someone could want to recruit you or, date you. Somebody that is a lot more aware of who you are. Which is interesting. That's interesting. But you're being guided towards the right groups of people, the right relationships. Silence the noise. Noise creates illusions and problems out of nothing. Go deeper into your heart so you may find the truth. So some of you need to silence all these echo chamber thoughts and ideas. You need to just go within. You need to get out of your head Some of you are overthinking. You were chosen. You were chosen because you're perfect for this mission. Simply shine your light on the road ahead and you will help others to see their way. So you are meant to be different. That sun card, star card, you're meant to stand out. You're not meant to be like all those other people. And it may feel isolating or confusing sometimes, but it's okay for you to do things differently. So I will close out the air element and then we're going to move to earth. Just keep moving forward with your purpose. It's the best thing to do. Okay, so we have earth. Earth. So this reading is going to explore the structure, manifestation, or stability of your situation. This is going to show you what's holding weight, or what's grounding you, or what you need to focus on for stability with earth. We have faith for your own healing. Have faith. Have faith. Something's going to work out. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're wanting to stabilize, have faith in it. It is manifesting, and it may not always take the shape and form of what you thought it would. So what is the foundational strength here of what you're doing? I just saw a flicker of the Eight of Cups. So some of you are you're still searching, right? You feel like you're still on a long journey towards manifesting your desire. So what is the foundational strength of where you are at in the earth element? Page of Wands in the reverse. Some of you just don't even know what you're going to do. Okay. You may be needing to have faith. Take a leap of faith. You're not trusting your idea or what you're wanting to do. You may feel like it's immature or not stable. Some of you really need to think about your long-term goals. You know, pages don't always think of the big picture. So you're needing to reassess the big picture when it comes to your long-term stability. The hidden weakness here is Knight of Swords. Yeah, something's just all off. There's no plan. There's no direction right now. Whether this is something internally you're dealing with or a person. But yeah, the communication is confusing. It's directionless. It hasn't solidified into anything yet because there's not a plan or an idea. There's like this fly by the seat of your pants kind of energy going on here. It's not grounded. So you're needing to have faith, but the way you create faith for your own healing, some of you need to heal before you can actually direct the energy properly. But you can't have faith in something if you don't have a plan, or you're not trusting your ideas, you're not trusting the information that you have, maybe feeling all over the place, ungrounded. The resource available is the Two of Cups. Well, there is, I'm getting that you may be falling in love, but it's completely throwing you off. So definitely a time, and I've said this with all the elements so far, needing to ground the energy. Don't let a new romance or a love or a relationship throw you off course, keep you from seeing the big picture. You know, it's really easy to get caught up in falling in love, like the love bubble, the honeymoon phase of a relationship, but this could actually distract you from what you're wanting to do. It could disorient you. But you do have a loving connection here. Just you want to make sure that you're in a partnership with somebody that's not going to completely derail your plans. So you may feel like you're just like all over the place right now. Long-term sustainability, time will tell. This is very romantic. Knight of Cups. Maybe some of you are in the love bubble and you're not overly focused on whether or not this is stable. You know, emotions and romance are beautiful experiences, but they can quickly dissipate if you're not trusting yourself, or the communication's off, there's confusion. That can really pull the rug out from under you, because it can feel really good, but then very ungrounding. So the physical world action, not rush something. Something may even just come to a halt out of nowhere if it moves too fast. I'm getting that it's important to not move too quickly when it comes to feelings and romance. Take time to get to know somebody, get grounded, have shared goals and a shared vision, because if you don't, you're just going to end up, it's all going to just kind of dissipate or burn out. You know, you can love somebody, but then them not fit in. Yeah, it can destabilize you, Emperor in the reverse. And you're wanting to stay grounded. You're wanting to build a foundation. You're wanting to work with somebody, but this person may not be very grounded, or they're controlling, or they can, you know, the Emperor in distortion is somebody that's not grounded and stable, not protecting the long-term direction of a connection. So, Earth, you definitely don't want to be Page of Wands in reverse, because Page of Wands upright would be like a really good idea, taking a leap of faith. It's similar to the Fool card, like starting something new. Some of you aren't really having faith or trusting yourself in this relationship, this new connection, or you may feel like it's going to fizzle out or not go anywhere. Confusion, impulsivity, flakiness. Be aware of that. That's a red flag. You don't want to get into those toxic dynamics. But the foundational strength. Why is the Page of Wands, Queen of Water, Scorpio, and light bulb? So an idea. You know, a light bulb is a breakthrough, enlightenment, illumination, getting clarity about your emotions. Yeah, because I'm getting that your emotions may be sabotaging a little bit. You have a great idea, and some of you fear that it won't bring stability. Maybe you think it's foolish. It's actually a very brilliant idea, and you don't trust yourself, or you're not trusting yourself in this new relationship, but it's going to require a lot of transformation in the way you think about things. So I'm getting that you may have to think outside of the box in this situation for it to even be capable of stabilizing. And it's also more that catalyst, like people come into our lives for a reason, and sometimes it's for these breakthroughs, these insights. So there's definitely a lesson here, and it's transformative, but you may not be seeing that or trusting in it just yet. The hidden weakness is that you may not know how to follow through with it. You don't have, it's like, it's a great idea, but you don't know how to like structure or plan it out. Sometimes it's spirit. You need to trust in divine timing. Something may not be working the way you thought it would yet. This is ether, prime element, source energy, akasha, unified field, soul spark, timeless, binding force, omnipresent, life force, 0 point energy. Yeah, you may have to start over, and you feel disoriented because it's like, will this idea work? Will this connection or partnership work? But there's definitely inspiration happening. The resource available is that maybe this love connection will, it could be this partnership or relationship gives you an idea that you hadn't thought about before. So it is a resource. This is a very healing connection too. And sometimes that can reground and inspire you. How is this Two of Cups a resource for you? It's going to be stabilizing. You're not going anywhere. Long lasting. So this has the potential to go the distance, but you're not trusting it yet. But be careful. Someone could want to have control here. Because anchor, I read it as a stabilizing force, but it can also be holding you back from something. So you definitely don't want to allow love connections to, you know, throw you off the spontaneity of your ideas and your vision. But this is a stabilizing force. This is enduring. What is the long-term sustainability though? Knight of Cups. Just Knight of Cups is loving, it's dreamy, it's romantic, but something could really distract you is what I'm getting. Yeah, Princess of Water, intuitive, dreamy, moon, enchantment, fantasy. Maybe you're going to have to acknowledge that you want a partnership that has long-term stability, not just dreamy, fantastical. You know, you don't want to get caught up in that love bubble or that honeymoon phase with somebody. You're needing a grounded, stable partnership, and it could be that you're dealing with somebody that can't provide that at this time. They may not want you to get away, but they're also kind of creating blockages in forward movement when it comes to your stability. So the physical world action is you're going to halt, you're going to slow something down with that Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, death, rebirth. You're going to go through a major transformation. And we do have the Death card here too, Scorpionic energy. Catalytic heart awakening, rising up from the ashes, complete renewal. Something's going to have to completely transform here before you can move forward with romance, because you're focusing on your transformation. And I'm getting that you're going to have to slow things down when it comes to romance or dating. Some of you don't really want to date right now. You feel like that's just going to throw you off. That's an overarching message here for sure. And you're needing to have faith in your goals and your vision and not allow yourself to get caught up in emotions. You're going through that transformation. You need to change your perception of love and whether or not it brings stability to your life. Because if a partnership doesn't bring stability or long-term sustainability, it's useless. I mean, it has, you have lessons and inspiration, yes, but it's not going to fit into your long-term plan. So let's look at the Oracle card. You're being called to have faith. have faith in something. Definitely have faith in yourself. Church. Oh yeah, there's a church here in the background. So that's tradition. Something could be, not, like I said, non-traditional, or thinking outside of the box. Churches and chapels give healing for all. Ancient structures built on ley lines, crossing points where sacred sites once existed. Powerful energies emanate from these places. These energies are for all, no matter your religion, faith, or beliefs. The earth has healing for you in these places, whether within these structures or in the grounds that exist within. Coming to these places provides love, comfort, and healing for the heart. Some of you are really needing to connect with spirit. You're confused. You need to get back into the element of spirit in order to stabilize something. All need healing. Living a physical life brings with it traumas and suffering that need to be healed. You are drawn to churches and chapels, a heartfelt yearning to have your heart healing take place. Yet some of you avoid these places, feel hurt or anger against them due to past experiences, whether in this life or the many before it. This also needs healing. Yeah, there could be healing when it comes to relationships and traditional value systems. You're having to reassess your beliefs at this time, so it may not be a time where you feel a lot of earthly stability. So you're focused on your healing. Some of you are not ready for a relationship. That's a big message here too. You're willing to hold out for something stable, not something short term. Temple of the soul. You're on your karmic path so you can unravel the mystery of your karmic debts. Yes, something to do with religion and beliefs. That's an overarching message here. Your karmic path ties you to tradition, and you're struggling to break out of that box. We also have wave of emotions. A new experience will enter your life that will stir a wave of emotions. You're very emotional about, I'm getting that this is a new connection, and not allowing it to destabilize, and also getting back in tune with yourself, your beliefs, your purpose. Because you're going through a major awakening or transformation here, a death rebirth cycle. I mean, that's a big things. Some of you are completely changing your beliefs right now. And then path to mastery. You're stepping into a new expanded consciousness that you will soon master. Some of you are going to master something through your faith, through your beliefs, expanded consciousness. Wow, I mean, these are deep things going on. And it's like this relationship was kind of thrown into the mix, and you're having to explore why. What was the purpose of this connection? Or what's it meant to do? Where does it really fit in, if at all? But it could have the power to be very transformative. Also, liberate yourself. You don't have to carry your burdens alone. Have the courage to ask and accept help. It could be that this person actually helps you in some way. Like people that are really meant to be in your life, people that truly love you, want to help you. They don't want to block you or destabilize you or confuse you. They want to actually be a benefit into your life. It's mutual, right? That mutual healing. Could be that this is a very healing relationship and you don't feel ready for it yet. But you'll get there. You'll get there. So this is the end of the elemental pick-a-pile. reading, and I hope you guys liked it, and I really hope it was helpful to go through all the elements. So earth signs or earth element. We'll be closing out here, and I really hope to see you again. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.